What's up, party people? Okay, today we're going to go through how I made an interactive website here for a fantasy baseball home run league using AI. So this is the looks of it, kind of retro feel. And we have each of our team breakdowns here, as well as a leaderboard that updates every night at midnight. To make this, I started with Google Gemini. So I've been in this league for a couple years and I've made spreadsheets in the past and usually just kind of do something with all of the guys in the spreadsheet. And last year I was going to this site and just exporting a bunch of home run data every couple weeks or month or so. And then asking ChatGPT to clean and sort the data, and then just dumping it into the sheet, which would update like a leaderboard sheet on that. This year, I wanted to get a little trickier, more sophisticated, and so I asked Google Gemini. I'm making a home run derby spreadsheet. I want it to auto update. How does this app script look? And I guess I had gotten it from somewhere else because I don't write app scripts like this. But probably Grok or another. I've got all of my LLMs here, so I'm using ChatGPT, I'm using Grok, Perplexity, uh, Claude, Grok again. Um, and so it looks like it's a good start. And then it's suggested some error handling and uh, additional additions here to the script. So it wrote me a new script. Now it's hard coded. It's got more efficiency. Um, and anyway, that's basically what it's doing. So MLB.com does a free stats API, and it's just calling that nightly and grabbing home runs just for the guys in my sheet. And so I started there, just making a smart little sheet here. I showed it, what the field titles were, the column titles and things, and then it figured it out. It made a script to fetch player IDs, which is how MLB like looks at each player. And so that's how it goes and fetches the home run. Every player has an ID for each season. So this is their 2025 player IDs in here. And every night, so when you are in a sheet here and you add an app script, should I close the app scripts? Then it opens up this little program, and here are my app scripts. So I've got one to update the homers for the league. So it's like looking for the player ID, and then it's going and grabbing from that stats API, looking for the player ID and giving them the home runs. And now I recently added this nifty little API that looks at yesterday's home runs, and if it increased, we run a new sheet for how many it increased by. And so each day I can have yesterday's home runs, and these are the guys that hit a home run yesterday and how many they hit and who the manager of that guy was. Uh, and then I display all of that uh, on the page. So to do that, I asked Gemini, okay, cool. Now let's make let's see, what did I say? I'd like to turn my Google Sheet into a web page. And I asked it, with retro graphics like the Nintendo game base is loaded, I would like the standings up top and then each team to have a little table showing their hitters' totals, 3 team tables across each row. Can you help me create a PRD first, and then we'll mock this up before building? So the PRD is a nice thing to ask for. That's a product requirement document. And giving it all of that context is a great way to to go about building things. Like I have other videos where I use cursor. If you give it a bunch of context up front, then it's not going to just make its own decisions. It's going to look at all of your documentation, and you can really define what you want to see in there. And so it thinks of a lot of things for you. And then I go through, I gave it some feedback. So it kind of asks a few questions, and then I I answered those questions for it and gave it some feedback. It made a new PRD, um, and it suggested some futurisms for it. And I was like, no, let's not do this for the minimum viable product. And it created, so I said, let's do this. Ready to proceed with the HTML mockup? Yep. And so it did that. And you could see like it's not running the API in this local thing here, but you could see like the text it was using, and then there's all the code. And basically I just copied that code and dumped it into a free text editor onto my website. And I was asking it at every turn, how do you do this? How do you do that? Okay. So in order to have a spreadsheet talk to a website that you create, so you need this HTML to show the website, and then it's calling the spreadsheet. The only way to do that is to host your spreadsheet on Google Cloud. And so you go to this console cloud.google. You can sign up for this free trial, and it looks like, yeah, I've got 79 days remaining. We'll see how much it's going to cost after that. I doubt very much, but we'll find out. And then I just put my spreadsheet on the cloud, and then it can call the spreadsheet um, from the website code. So I was just going to show you. This is my cheap blog website, and this is what I'm using to host a bunch of different projects. But in the files here, it walked me through how to do this. I am very much a novice with all of this. I've done some HTML code and some web design, but not a lot. And so it told me how to create a little subdirectory, and then I just put the index file in there. And whenever I want to change on the website, like when I added the yesterday's homers, I just went in there and asked Gemini to make a new version. Here's the complete HTML code incorporating, like the last issue I had was, I only wanted the last names to display here, but it was only showing like Junior for Fernando Tatis Jr. and Junior for Witt and Junior for Jazz Chisholm. And so I told it that, and it's like, yeah, you've hit a common challenge with simple name splitting. So it made it a little more complex in the JavaScript code in that HTML doc to make sure it gets the last name and the suffix. Makes this like name parts code. It's really been helpful to learn how to code in ways, or know what to look for uh, by interacting with these LLMs and doing this kind of vibe coding. I'm learning about different types of uh, objects and ideas and concepts within different types of code. And now I kind of know where to insert things, but I still don't trust myself to do that. And a lot of times it has a lot of instruction within the code and things that I don't know exactly where to edit an existing code block. So I always tell it to, can you build it into that entire document? And it'll take the previous code, build what it thought I needed to add, and then just give it to me all so that I can copy the whole thing and drop it into that, or into here, or a text doc. I try to keep version control. So every time I do a new version, I have the last one just in case stuff gets broken. But yeah, that's kind of the operation there. So a call to MLB.com in these sheet scripts, and then mounting the script or hosting the script onto Google Cloud, which everybody can set up that pretty easily within your own Google account. So there's my sheet. And then making an HTML doc and hosting that on a web server. Uh, Hosting is super cheap and easy these days, but that's basically it. Voila. A fun little baseball website. I was thinking of trying to productize this, but that is a whole nother beast. I was asking ChatGPT around that. At the end, I was like, let's take this concept and develop a fresh PRD for a public product version, and this is interesting, but there's a lot that goes into this. Like, you need big databases to hold everybody's leagues, and uh, you have to manage so much, data and things to make it usable for a bunch of people. So I thought it'd be fun, but I think moreover, just showing the instructions for how to do this yourself, if you want to do it, is kind of the way to go. So hit me up in comments, or if you have any questions and want to know how to set this up, I'm happy to help. It's been a fun learning experience, and hey, we're ready for another baseball season here. I'm in second place. See, I've got Cal Raleigh here, so he's my only Mariner. Eugenio Suarez used to be a Mariner. I think some of these other guys might have too. Was Tyler O'Neill a Mariner? Anyway, Cal's leading my pack here. But you can see yesterday's homers. This Dan guy got like 5 in one day. If you average 2 homers a day, you're probably going to win this league. 2 homers between your 10 guys, your 11 guys, the top 10 of your 11 count. Yeah. So, go Cal, leading the way. Go Mariners. All right. Have a good one.